Let's make an 1880s cotton skirt. Good day everyone, my name is Caitlin. I'm a living historian who educates other living historians by teaching old-fashioned sewing skills and copying original garments. I got invited to a private last-minute 1880s, like invitation-only event for like 1880, mid-1880s is what we're doing. Like 1885 or, I think it's 1886 actually. And I don't have a lot of clothes for that. It's also going to be, it's Texas and it is summer, so it is going to be warm. The only other cotton dress that I have for 1880s, I'll pull it out, is this monstrosity, which I think looks amazing on me. I actually really like this. Why is there a sticker on here? Throw that away. Anyway, I copied this off an original in my collection. The only thing about it is made of twill and entirely lined. So it's heavy. This is not a dress that someone who lived out where it was warm would be wearing on a warm day. This is more of a winter or a fall dress. It is not a late spring in Texas when it's getting close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit dress. So I'm going to bring it, likely as my Sunday best. I don't know how long I'll stay in it on Sunday, but I will bring it. I have to redo some buttons because there's a couple missing. But I want something a little bit lighter as a change of clothes type of thing. See if that'll hang here. Hey look, it hangs there. Awesome. So back a couple years ago, we made this, which is more natural form. So earlier 1880s, I think I could bustle it. It seems to be very rare to have like the polonaise type bodice in the later 1880s with the bustles or the late bustles, but I found a couple of them. I found enough just to go, okay, this is actually kind of a style. So I think we can make it work. It still fits. It is unlined entirely. A very nice, fine, lighter cotton. So I should probably put my hair back for this. So it will work. It'll be light. I did put it on like yesterday, so I know it fits. But this is what it looks like. Good part of me as I move my bust line to accommodate an 1880s shape. I think this will be great for like casual wear. Especially if it's a little bit warmer. So it is nice and long, you can see. And I thought about a couple things. I thought about bustling it here, and giving me like a nice bustle in the back. I think more back on the back hip is where it should be bustled. And I think that'd be great. And this can kind of just fall in the front like that. I think that'll work out fantastic. But I need a skirt to go with it. Now in the past I've worn it with that skirt, which I think I can do, but most of the cotton ones I'm seeing that are original have a matching bodice and skirt. Or this polonaise part is so long, like to the floor, and then bustled up under a contrast underskirt, which this is not that long. So I think to be more on par with the originals, I need to make a new skirt, which is where we're at today. So I have the rest of the fabric, and I'm going to try to make this as light as I can. I might have to line it. Skirts being heavy don't bother me as much because I'm wearing a corset, which takes up all the weight, and I don't find it to be heavy or warm. What I don't want is heavy and warm here or here, which can be adjusted with, again, this particular bodice. But yes, I think we're gonna do that. So let's go ahead. I'm hoping I have enough fabric here. I ought to, but at the end of this, the plan is to have an entire outfit out of this. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're gonna start with sewing in a pocket. So I cut a pocket here, and we're gonna stitch it up. So that is the pocket. I made a nice large pocket because I like large pockets. Now I can attach some of the side and bodice seams. The original patterns, I bought the Past Patterns pattern, and they do say date it as 1883. I think that is correct. I think it is late natural form because the skirt hem circumference is very narrow. It's like, it is not even 90 inches. It's close to 90, but not really. And most people like at least 90 inches in their skirt circumferences to be able to, you'll feel like you're not in a hobble skirt. So I looked at several originals, came up with an average of like 95 to like 140 inch in circumference. So mine at this point is closer to 100, which is on the narrower end, but for a basic cotton dress, I think that's going to be perfect. So I did widen all of the, most of the seams, the skirt seams, to make them wider. Of the construction as per the original I own, because I kind of like the skirt that it does. So I think we're going to do that. So this skirt's going to be a hodgepodge of techniques. They're all going to be historically accurate techniques from various originals, but I'm not following one dress in particular. Side I want to add the pocket, which Catherine CG's original had the pocket on the left hand side. I know I've seen originals on both sides. I don't know at this era if there's one more popular than the other. I could tell you on the 1850s and 60s, mostly I see them on the right hand side, but I like my pockets on the right side, so I'm going to add my pocket on the right side because I know it's historically accurate to do it that way. I'm going to get all these pins out before I forget about them. Otherwise, I will be poking myself. I sometimes wear dresses that I've worn like 20 times, and then I wear them again, and I get poked with a pin that was left in there since sewing, and I'm like, that's random. Why? I want it fairly close to the hip. My arms are too short to be dealing with pockets that are too far down. I'm putting this pocket between the, because there's, oh, I pulled the wrong one. Oh no. Okay, I gotta do that seam again. Half of it ripped out. It's the fun part about the chain stitch machines. You kind of have to watch what you're doing. Okay, let's try this again. Really? Okay. I do not usually have this much trouble. Maybe the machine's telling me, did I sew the pocket on wrong or something? Is it just like trying to help me out? Thanks, Nutmeg. What is it with you kitties and being a handful for sewing this week? Susan's been having issues with her kitty. Marna's been having to fight off a cat while sewing. Is this week just the week of kitties getting in the way for sewing? Was there some sort of message sent out to everybody? On that. Looks pretty good. You know, having a pocket that matches your skirt always looks the best. Like, it looks most professional, so you don't like get those hints of white or contrast underneath in random spots. However, it does make your pocket really hard to find sometimes. measuring and see if I can't make what I did with my last skirt work. If not, it'll be okay. I'll still be able to do what the original did on like Catherine's or something. I just kind of like how my back folds over top. I think that's a really cool thing. I don't know if I have enough in the waist of this to do that, but we'll find out. On the back of the skirt. So the back of the skirt, again, this is something I'm doing off my original, not necessarily what the pattern did. The back of the skirt has a scrap bit of fabric, and then this fabric is laid over top. So you have a whole waistband and it meets in the back, but this stuff is here. And then the bustle part of the back folds over top of that and it hooks and eyes onto the waistband on either side. I don't know why. I don't even know why I like it, because it's a little bit more complicated than just doing this the normal way, but I think it's fun. So we're going to do it again. So this is the back piece. It's basically a back lining, and I'm putting it over this side seam. Now the original had a scrap bit of fabric that was close in color to their main fabric, which mine is not. I have had issues with my last dress. You can see the lining underneath depending on how I move. So I'm going to put, like you would a pocket or on some skirts where you have like a little facing of the fabric to make it look like it's lined the entire way through with the same fabric, but it's not. It's a very common period technique on things where you use lining fabrics, but you want people to think that this fabric goes all the way through. Here's my facing on this other side. I had just enough scrap fabric for this. Alright, so now I have the side skirt, I have a placket, and this is the back. And then I have, this is the back part of the skirt. I'm just losing all my pins. This is going to get faced or possibly hemmed, probably faced if I can figure enough facing. I think I can. But then this is just going to get stitched right over top, actually on this side. So it'll all match, like it'll all look right in the end. It's just kind of an odd way of doing it. So I'm going to stitch it from this side. Actually, I'm going to stitch it from the inside because I want to stitch it on that seam. This allows is if I were to take these pins out. Okay, got a little close there, but that will work. It folds over top, so it looks like a regular skirt seam. I kind of wanted this because this is such an unstructured skirt. There's no lining. You know, my other 1880s dress is structured because it's fully lined, and I like that for a late 1880s look. I think they like the structure look too. And so I kind of wanted a little bit of structure, especially where it's going to have like the bustle. I wanted a little bit of extra fabric to kind of smooth out that line a little bit. Alright, now for the waistbands. I'm doing two. This is for the center back piece, and then we're going to do another one for the rest of the skirt. underneath this is also gathered, but the rest of the skirt, which is probably about 3/4 of the skirt, is pleated. I haven't hemmed it yet either, which is going to be the next step after we get this waistband done. Opting to face this because I felt like it needed, because it's not lined at all, I felt like it needed a pretty long hem or something at the bottom to let gravity let it hang correctly, and there just wasn't enough on there. I was going to get like a 1-inch hem, and I didn't think that was going to be enough, so I just cut off a little bit, and we're going to put a facing on to help with that gravity weight issue at the bottom. Where I can do mostly, well, I think it's all handwork now. Waistband, both of them, and then this obviously. I think I can put this in by machine. I want to say I've seen some 1880s dresses with the top of the facing done by machine, but I know it's better when done by hand, because if you ever step on your hem and you rip something, if you do it by machine stitching is so strong, you'll likely rip your skirt fabric. Whereas if you stitch it by hand, your hand stitches will come out and then it'll save your dress fabric. I've had experience with this, so I'm going to do it by hand. Alright, so let's finish this up. I pleated up the sides of this bodice. This is the bodice part. And I would be sewing this by machine, except I already took the brown thread out to sew a bonnet that we're doing next month. And I didn't feel like putting it back in, so instead of putting it back in, I'm doing it by hand. I am using a chain stitch. I haven't documented this to the 1880s, but I see it fairly often earlier, like 1830s, 1840s, using chain stitches to hold pleats down. And then I'm going to try it on and see how it looks. We'll see. I did measure where to start the pleats and where they ended, and that there were 5 pleats, but I didn't measure anything else. I just want to make sure they look even from the outside. I don't care about the inside so much. I'm trying not to care as much, because I know that the people back then didn't care as much as we care today about things matching and being even and such. So I am trying not to care as much. It can be a little bit of a challenge sometimes. Let's see if that holds. But that's kind of what it looks like, just a little bit pleated up. Thought about gathering it, thought about pleating it. I think gathering may have looked a bit better, but I like how easy pleating is. I'm going to go try it on, see how it looks. If I like it, I'll put on everything and we will just take a look at the whole ensemble. Alright, so I have on my basic 1880s underwear. I did not do my hair today, I apologize. I have like 2 days before this event now, and I spent all of yesterday gardening and the day before that cleaning the house, so I have not worked on any of the projects. I still have 3 I need to do. So my main focus on right now is to get this on, make sure it fits, because obviously that's important, and make sure I like how it looks, and then get off the camera so I can start sewing on another project. It's actually slightly too big, which is better be, you know, it's better to be 1 inch too big, well, it's like more 1/2 inch, than 1/2 inch too small, you know, so I'm okay with that. But this is how the back works. Isn't that weird? This is how the original worked. And then this has a eye, and there's a hook right here. It fits right there, and the other side does the exact same thing. I can feel it touching the hook, and it won't hook. Ha! Okay, cool. So yeah, that is that. I don't even have my big bustle on. That's mostly just my body, so with a little pad. Not like the natural form pad, but like the 1870s pad. Because I realized after looking at it for like lower class stuff, I think this is fine for 1880s. It's been a long time since I've worn my 1880s stuff. Okay. I'll need to look for like a nice brooch or something. This fits way better with the corset than without. It's not that my waist measurement's any different, it just lays nicer, you know? It also makes my bust sit in the right place, so that does help. Okay, so I do kind of want this to sit a little bit like that, so if I pull it down, I think maybe. So it's really hard to tell because obviously it's all the same fabric, but yeah, like this is like a little nice polonaise almost, with a little bit more in the back. I don't know if these need to be moved further over, like here. I don't know. I might take a picture and just share with Emma and be like, hey, is this fine? Because I don't know what I'm doing. But hey, I have a finished dress now. So I actually have 2 dresses now. So we have this one. Oh wait, these are drawers. I have this one, which now has a pocket. There's a stinking pocket in it. And you can't even really see. And you can because there's loose threads everywhere, but if I were to put that on. So I have 2 dresses now, which never thought I would need. That does give me a nice little shape. I mean, it's very flat in front, which is very 1880s, and there is a good bit in the back, so I think I've achieved the silhouette. I think I might be able to tweak this just slightly. Whether that's something I do for this weekend or I adjust it this weekend or if I do it later, I'm not entirely sure. But this is going to be so nice. It is so light. It feels nothing like that other dress because this is completely unlined. It's a much lighter fabric. It's not that stupid heavy twill, which looks really close to the original. It does not weigh anything like the original. So this is going to be much, much nicer, especially when it gets a little bit warm. So I'm happy with this. This turned out really well, especially for being kind of a last minute project. It's not my particular favorite era. I prefer an earlier time period. I like fuller skirts than this. This feels quite weird. I can feel fabric around my ankles. This is a very strange feeling. Like that's just so strange. I am missing my under petticoat. I did not put on an under petticoat. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's why I'm feeling things against my ankles. It also could be that I'm wearing my drawers today. So that's not really my ankles though. I can feel it around my feet. I can feel it around my legs though. I don't like that feeling. So I don't like drawers. Anyway, I have other projects to get to, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe to the channel, click that little bell notification so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. And as always, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you back here in the next video.